All right, so good morning, everybody, and we're with Craig Floyd from the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial Fund. And Craig, I know you got a lot going on down there with National Police Week in preparation, but you also have an event coming up here in New York City.
Well, we do, and it's a very exciting event. It's going to be at one of the great venues on Long Island. It's the Ohika Castle, and we call this the Honor at the Castle Gala. It's being sponsored by the Zellman Group, which is a vendor serving retailers around the country. Some of the top retailers use the Zellman Group to help them with their asset protection. And Stuart Levine is actually the head of the Zellman Group. I struck up a relationship with Stuart last year at the National Retail Federation conference and earlier at the Retail Industry Leaders Association conference. He had sponsored a luncheon that I spoke at, and he loved what we were doing in regards to building the first ever National Law Enforcement Museum, and Stuart wanted to do more to help us. So he decided to host this gala on Long Island where he's located, and we expect hundreds of people to attend. We have a number of celebrities that'll be there. Richard Belzer from Law and Order Special Victims Unit will be one of our honorees that evening. Vince D'Onofrio, another star from the Law and Order franchise. He was on Law and Order Criminal Intent, the star of that show. Mark Feuerstein of Royal Pains, he will be the MC of the event. Ethan Hawke of Brooklyn's Finest is also going to be one of the stars with us that evening. And Walt Clyde the Glide Frazier will also be in attendance. So quite a bevy of celebrities. Going to have a lot of fun that evening, a lot of great entertainment, some great singers and music. And we'll be honoring some of the local officers who've been killed in the line of duty on Long Island in Suffolk and Nassau County. So it should be a great evening. Anybody that's interested, this is going to be April 24th, and it starts at 6:30 p.m. The Ohika Castle is on Huntington, Long Island, and anybody wanting more information can go to a website. It's www.amatterofhonor.org.
So let me ask you a question, Craig. You couldn't find the Knights of Columbus for this? You had to pick a castle?
I haven't had the pleasure of being in the castle yet, but I've seen pictures. It's just outstanding. And apparently Royal Pains, the television show, is filmed there. And so a lot of people may know it from the show, but anybody that lives out on Long Island Way should be very familiar with this wonderful venue for this great event.
All right, that sounds like it's going to be a fun event, and hopefully something I'm going to try and get to as well, because that's within a short drive of where I live. All right, and we've got some engraving starting soon. Do we want to open that up and talk about that a little bit?
Yes, every year at this time, as you know, Joe, we add new names to the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial. It's one of the unique aspects of our memorial versus so many others where they're honoring soldiers who died in wars long ago. They don't add new names to those memorials, but unfortunately every year we lose more than 150 or so law enforcement professionals. We also find a lot of older deaths that have been forgotten about by history, and our researchers are always scouring newspaper files and talking to relatives of law enforcement officers from long ago, trying to get their names on our memorial. And once that research is complete, and once we realize that they meet our criteria, those older deaths are added as well. So this year we're adding 163 officers' names who died in 2011. And we're also adding another 199 names from yesteryear, prior to 2011. So a total of 362 names will be added to the memorial and officially dedicated at our candlelight vigil on May 13th.
All right. Well, that's the beginning of our update. We're going to hear more from Craig in a few minutes regarding some of the fatalities and the current numbers. And I think we're on a good trend this year, but I'll let Craig get more into that right after this commercial from our friends over at the FBI. We'll be right back, folks. Stand by.